Maybe I shouldn't say this during a YouTube video, but this is the house you need if you don't want to have the strongest internet signal. It's a 1930s cabin overlooking White Iron Lake in Ely, Minnesota, and it's called Oppel's Point. It's definitely remote and rustic, and I'll show you how I would decorate it if it were mine. This summer retreat highlights the peace and quiet of the North Woods on a peninsula of 1.3 acres. It has 520 feet of shoreline, and it was built by this couple, William and Nellie Oppel. They were the local storekeepers in Ely. Their store was across from the Section 30 iron ore mine, and when the Oppels weren't busy shopkeeping, and they were also lumber barons, which is why they had their pick of properties, I guess, they would retreat to their cabin among the pines. Do they look stressed from running two businesses? No, they do not. And this is why. The Oppel family owned this beautiful property for more than 80 years. Let's go inside. The screen porch still has its lumber baron pine ceilings. A few years ago, a local man who had always admired the property set about preserving it and restoring what was needed, like the windows and a new metal roof. And you can see the porch wraps around the living room like this, and it's been really nicely restored. Here we are at the main front door. It's still the original doors. So when you're not out on the lake or on the wraparound porch, you can gather in this main room for puzzles. And if it were mine, I would leave you to finish the puzzle because I'd be busy antique shopping and decorating like this. This overall design is by Susan Zises Green, and I like that it has a slightly more polished, collected over time look, like it was done by someone who likes to antique shop and decorate. The original room she designed really looks like this, and I suppose the cabin could as well if you really wanted to cover those knotty pine walls. But you know how guys are about natural wood. It might be a tough sell to your better half to paint it. But anyway. Meanwhile, the kitchen, it's pretty much just what you would expect for this cabin. It's perfect for prepping things to take out to the grill, and then scooching in for supper on the built-in benches. And again, I probably wouldn't paint it, but if you would, it could look something like this. This is by Elizabeth Burns of EDB Designs. And it's from two separate houses she designed, but the overall look is very clean and simple and very appropriate for this rustic cabin. Now, if you're sleeping at this cabin, you'll want to call dibs on this front bedroom that overlooks the lake. But if you don't get your first pick, you can sleep in this bedroom that's just off the porch, because it's got a great view too. And I like how it still has the old books next to the bed, like they've just always been at the cabin. I would keep the books and just refresh the room a tiny bit more by painting the bed like this Lakeside blue. This design is by Design Atelier. Now the guy who picks last gets this bedroom that's just off the bedroom that's just off the porch, because this bedroom is also the laundry room. And it's also the bedroom that connects to the only bathroom. Although the first bedroom does also connect to the bathroom on the other side of the toilet though. But like all the other rooms, the bathroom's got a pretty terrific view also. So overall, the cabin has 1,260 square feet and three bedrooms and one bathroom. But as the listing noted, there is room to rework some of the spaces, and there's potential to expand, including into the basement or above the garage. You can see the potential on the back porch and in the basement. Now here's that 550 feet of private swimming shoreline I mentioned. And here's a picture of one of the old mines. And I'm not sure if it's iron ore or copper mine. But the picture's from the 1940s, although I read that Section 30 flourished until 1923. So somewhere in then, Ely became more known as a resort town than as a Section 30 town. And it also started promoting camping, hunting, and fishing. Although I don't know how this particular postcard made it to its intended recipient, who lives in city. But anyway, and I'm also noticing the stamp was never canceled. So there you go. Anyway, Ely started promoting its resort possibilities. And this is the White Iron Beach Resort in 1916. It's less than a mile from the Oppel's Point House, and it even kind of looks like it. And this is what the resort looks like today. Besides being home to iron ore and copper mine and resorts, Ely is also home to the International Wolf Center and the North American Bear Center. So if your town is home to wolf and bear centers, you might not be getting the strongest internet signal. And that sounds pretty perfect to me, except maybe when I'm trying to make a YouTube video. If you liked this one, please like, share, and subscribe. And for more content, visit my website at ifitweremine.com.